Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. No matter where your day finds you, welcome to the ID and DL or driver's license checking guide discussion. The information today comes directly from the Wisconsin Alcohol, Beverage, and Tobacco Laws for Retailers, Publication 302, updated in December of 2016. We will begin our discussion talking about what you should look for on an ID or DL with the checking guide suggestions. First of all, ask pertinent questions about the ID presented. For example, if an ID card is presented as proof of age, ask how the driving was on the way to the establishment. If the person was driving, ask to see his driver's license. Number 2, check the card's expiration date. If the DL has expired, maybe it really does not belong to the holder, but to an older sibling who has already got a replacement for it. How did he or she get to the establishment? Drive using an expired DL. Good question. Number 3, watch for stamp of duplicate on the card. If they have a duplicate, maybe someone else has the original and one of them is lying. Number 4, people with false IDs rarely carry backup documentation, where most people have several forms. When confronted with possible false ID, ask for further documentation. Lastly, question the carrier as to some basic information on the card, such as address, exact birth date, middle initial, or spelling of last name. If they don't answer you to your satisfaction, refuse service and request that they leave immediately. In the category or area of things to look for, first of all, glue lines. Secondly, bumpy surfaces by the picture or birth date. Any surface area inconsistent with the rest of the ID usually indicates tampering. Number 3, overlay of reprinted numbers and a shadowy or cloudy image. ID card may have been opened to altered numbers. Number 4, missing spots on the state logo. ID alters often forget to pay attention to one of the most obvious clues on the card. Comparison to legit DL or ID, letters and numbers, size of lettering, format of the card, how many digits for expiration, and date of birth. Use a black light and magnifying glass to check for security features such as ultraviolet/micro printing on the DL or ID. Check reverse side lettering. Oftentimes, counterfeiters will spend great amount of time on reproducing an authentic looking photo board, but will rarely photocopy the reverse side. These are often blurred, a sure sign of photocopying. Bend the card. Feel it. How does it feel compared to authentic card? What is the color of the card? Check the size of the DL. How does it compare to a genuine one? Check the color/thickness and clarity of lettering. Check thickness of the card. Check the corners of the card. Are they real rounded and smooth or uneven and jagged? This is one of the best methods for detecting counterfeit cards. Is there shading or glare on the picture or redness in eyes? Most driver's licensing stations have their cameras set to avoid these problems. Use an ID checking guide, especially in areas where there are heavy out-of-state population, colleges, tourist communities. There are several commercial companies that publish these guides, which picture all the state's driver's licenses. Consistency with numbers. These are often targets for alteration experts. Look closely because they may really be altered. Always check the reverse side. Compare questionable document to the standard. your own driver's license. Check letters and numbers, both for size and consistency, against the authentic card. Check the laminate. How does it compare to the authentic? Is it clear or cloudy? Additionally, at this point in time, we want to point out that no person who holds a license or permit and no employee of such a person is civilly liable for retaining a document presented as proof of age for a reasonable length of time in good faith effort to determine whether the person who presented the document is an underage person, or to notify law enforcement of a suspected violation of carrying a false ID. Please complete the following. Close the discussion. Click the link to open Publication 302 and scroll to page 14, which will appear in a separate tab. Return to the training page and click the Competency 1 quiz link using the Publication 302 page 14 information as a reference. Good luck!